All right, it's live.
Okay. So did you guys have a chance to do the readings for the Regency Fashion? Is that how you say it?
I
Regency?
know, like Regency. Yeah, totally.
I didn't really feel like there was a whole lot of reading to do. I kind of felt like I missed a whole bunch.
I
Do you guys feel that way?
so I was like reading up and like I remember I went through this little phase where I like really loved Pride and Prejudice and I really liked Jane Austen. And so I was just kind of thinking like around the time because she said it's like right after, like it's like the romantic period kind of like equivalent to it. And so I was like looking up like the dates and everything. And it was like basically kind of right after the French Revolution. And so I think I was able to find some of the answers to some of the questions. So let's go. Why don't we start with the first? Like, Raylene, you're writing it this time?
I have it all written. Yeah.
Awesome. So the first one.
In there because you have like all this space to yourself. Oh yeah. Do you guys want to join? Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No, did you want to like conduct it? Like, did you want to read the questions and then?
Sure. Okay, so our overall goal for this paper is how Regency Fashion says something about the culture and or values of England at that time. That's just what we're keeping in mind here. But the first question is, what sorts of inferences can you draw about the society?
Sounds like a party.
Sorry.
Okay, like something that I kind of like noticed. I was like googling pictures, like I googled images, like, and like a lot of the style was pretty simple, like compared to what we had to do just the other day with like those women who had very like extravagant hairstyles and everything. And so it kind of seemed like to me, like the difference is that it's like kind of backed away from like showing what class you are, just kind of like simple, like this is what I need to wear, like to do my daily routine kind of thing. What do you guys think?
I think society has started to evolve into like what we know it as today. Like I think all of a sudden money matters are more stable. So beforehand, like you wanted to be a little bit more rounded, so you showed that you had a consistent food supply, and you wore super expensive clothes to show that you had money at that time, because our money was always going up and down. But society was beginning to stable out, so you didn't necessarily have to show it as much.
Hey, crazy. So I was like looking up like something like that. Like so it's like I was like looking up like why this would even happen, like why would people, and so it's like right after the French Revolution, like you know that like old saying where it goes like let them eat cake because like we have people starving, like what are we gonna do? And they're just like, well, let them eat cake, and it just like showed like that mindset of like class and like no idea. And so it was like moving away. Like I read something where they said that they didn't want to be seen as part of the French aristocracy or aristocracy. Yeah, like they didn't want to be seen as those people that have that mindset of just like riches and you know what I mean. So yeah, like they're moving away from money. They're just more like no, like we're the people. Like we make up the, you know. That's just something I found online.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, sorry, I'm not commenting a lot. I'm like super behind now because I've been out of town. But yeah, I'll try to help, but I'm not that much help yet.
So what
Honestly,
I
if you
thought
just read.
was,
Oh, sorry.
like, go
Nicole,
ahead.
You can go.
Oh, do you want? Okay.
You go.
So like before in the 18th century, it seemed like the dress was the center of the attention with all of its like embellishments and ornaments. But like with the Romantic period, it's more concentrated on the woman wearing the dress. So the dress is supposed to accentuate her features. So now it's more focused on like who the woman is rather than what she's wearing.
Yeah, like definitely more like individual, like who is the
Yeah.
person wearing that?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
Not
not to show.
just focus on her physical beauty, but like rather her intelligence or what's inside.
And like, yeah, sorry, I'm sound like I'm just like, and then I found this, and then I found that. I just like
No,
found all
go
this cool
ahead.
stuff. Like it's like they weren't like the dress was not to categorize their class or their gender. It's more of like their dress was meant to go along with their personal individual daily routine. Like it's not in the way. Like I read I think it was on the Jane Austen website or something. Can't remember. But like it's not long anymore and it's more like flowy and lighter and so it's like easier to clean and like that's another thing. Sorry, it's like after like you remember in the French Revolution how like people were just like dirty and like just not very hygienic? It like like I was reading that throughout this period hygiene became more important to people. And so just having a lighter dress and being able to clean it more and like simpler stuff, like they're able to be cleaner and like more mobile and anyway, sorry. I keep sorry.
No, those are really good thoughts, Tessa. Super good. Okay, I think I have enough for that question. How about the next one? So, it's kind of a long question. What sort of meaning can we attach to the changes in women's sense of what shape their bodies should have, or the fact that their hairstyles were simplified? So, why is that important? That their shape of their bodies have, and their hairstyles are simplified.
I think it sorry, I'll let someone go first. Someone else go first.
I think like they were talking about like the corsets were beginning to be pulled in a lot more. So now more slender was seen as more beautiful. Is kind of what I was understanding from that.
Oh, I thought that they were not as tight anymore. The corsets.
No, I thought they were getting tighter and tighter because it's getting on to. No, did I read that wrong?
It's a little backwards.
I think it said they were tight, but not as tight as they were in like Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
mid-Victorian period. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so slim is still beautiful,
Okay,
but
so they're getting looser. Never
not
mind.
that slim.
Ignore my thought then.
I had to read it like 3 times, so it's fine. But like I think kind of like falling back again onto like Burke and Kant, like he's more individualistic and so it's kind of like the flowy, like of course it like shows their like, but like it's more like natural. Like if you Google image, like it's very like it shows like their chest, but then it's very like
form fitted,
flowy. Like it's not like, you know what I mean. And so I think it's like leaning towards a more individual, like natural looking woman. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that
it's not just like the woman just sitting pretty and being painted in a portrait, but rather they have like a more of a purpose in life now. Like they actually have things to do.
Yeah, like they have things to do. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, that definitely goes back to more Kant's definition of beauty then. Okay, what about hairstyles? Same thing?
Yeah, simpler. So I would say it's the same thing.
Okay,
Kind of like, yeah, like you
we're
don't
good.
want to spend, like you could use all that time doing something more like worth it, you know? Instead of like spending all this time on your hair, you're able to go outside and go along the river. I don't know, you know, like Jane Austen and stuff. Write a letter. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, next question. What does this have to do with the way women were thought of or thought of themselves?
I think, I don't know, I thought of like kind of like what you guys were talking about earlier with like the mobility, I guess. Like women weren't able to really move around in those corsets and like they spent so much time on their hair, but when they became more simple in their style, I think it was more of like women are useful, women can do things, women don't have to just like wear these clothes that they can't move in and hairstyles that are like super crazy. But they can like have real lives, and I think maybe they're seen as more human than trophies or something. I don't know. That's kind of just what I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, because like they're not just being looked at anymore. Like they can
Yeah,
actually help out. Yeah,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm going to quote that actually. More humans than trophies.
Awesome.
Okay, what about thinking of themselves?
I think they're probably finding more worth in themselves. You know? Because you know when after you like finally do something yourself, you're like, I did it, you know, instead of just like a woman can't do this, she can't do that, you can't do this. But then she's actually able to participate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting how both women
Right. Okay,
and men's
next one.
fashion.
What is the significance of the empire weight?
I feel like our connection is opposite. Can you guys hear me?
You guys keep freezing. No, you guys keep freezing.
Oh.
Are we freezing now?
No, you're okay now.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, use.
What else?
Oh,
What I was just gonna say.
No, oh. Okay.
Are we frozen
Go.
again?
No.
Okay. So what I was gonna say was I thought it was interesting how both men and women fashion became simpler. So maybe in their minds, women feel like they're more. They have like they can do things that men can do now, and there's more. They have more similarities. So there's more equality between them, between both genders.
Cool. I like that.
Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna write that down. Gosh, you guys keep freezing up on me.
Oh,
Do you
no.
freeze on each other or no?
I
No
have
one's freezing on me. Yeah.
Oh, mine's freezing a lot.
Weird. I wonder if it's the campuses. Is anybody else on campus?
No.
No.
Okay. Now we get to talk about the men. Why did men become simpler in their dress?
I think it kind of went along same with like the women, like they didn't want to be seen as this class, you know what I mean? Like they wanted to be seen as like it said she even like abandonment of like lace and embroidery. Like it's just like that fancy stuff that like you don't really need, you know what I mean? And so I think it went like similar, like simpler and more just like because and as well as being able to do daily tasks as well, probably.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's more, yeah.
You can say.
It's like more about function instead of fashion.
Function over fashion. Sorry. I like. Yeah, I was like trying to hide it under, like hopefully, like nobody Sorry. Anyways. Something interesting about I was found online was that I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but they were just saying that like since everyone's clothing became more like similar to one another's, like just like thin and like light and simple, it was kind of like they're able to express personality better as well as through like accessories. Like it said online that like they were able to use more accessories to express individuality. Like it was even like the accessory was. I don't know. That's just something I found. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, it makes sense.
You totally cut out that whole time. I missed all of it, what you said.
Oh, shit. Can I try one more time?
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So I was just saying that something that I found online, and it might not even work at all, but it's just something I found, was that like since the fashion was changing and everyone's dress was more similar, they were able to express their individuality more. And one of the ways that they did that was through accessories. Like their accessories were more important than their shape of the dress or something.
Okay.
I just found that online. I don't know if that's like it probably won't even work at all, but I just thought it'd be like, oh, look what I found.
That is interesting, though. I'm glad you restated that. Thank you. Next question is, why did some men become obsessed with having well-cut clothes?
Sorry, but I found something else on that. So, I think it was it on the Jane Austen website of the men? It was right at the very end. A lot of the men became obsessed with a certain type of boot, the Hessian boot, because the Duke of Wellington defeated Napoleon, and he like had those boots. And so again with the French Revolution and being like, yeah, like we're winning, and this guy, he wore this, and so like that's a pretty big deal. And so kind of just like that's just something I found.
I wonder, so nowadays, a well-tailored suit usually shows a lot of who that man is, like how much money he has and all that stuff. So I wonder if this time period is when we transitioned into being, having a well-tailored outfit over just having a bunch of extra things. Does that make sense?
And you know what I was thinking?
This transition period of it's just better to.
Oh, sorry.
Good chat. No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry. I just had a thought where I was just like, if you think about it, if you were back in that day, especially right after the French Revolution, like money is kind of tight, you'd want quality so you could wash it and clean it and wear it for a really long time, but still look really nice.
Yes.
So probably having like really well cut clothing like shows like totally just be like expressing their individuality, just like, well, I got mine from the Germans, well, I got mine from India, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, whoa, he's really cultured, you know what I mean? But also at the same time, you want really good quality, so you don't have to keep buying more and more stuff. I don't know. That's just a thought.
That makes sense. I like that. It's interesting.
Nice. I like that actually. I hadn't really considered that.
Cool.
Okay. Should we go on the last question?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So this one kind of has two parts. How do these things relate to such issues as relationships between men and women, or the fact that the middle class is gaining more power in England? So why don't we look at the relationships between men and women first?
I thought of like, I know that throughout history, like everywhere, anytime women start to like gain some kind of power or freedom, sometimes the men start freaking out, and it causes issues. And I wonder if I don't know, but I wonder if maybe this idea that the women don't have to wear as tight of clothes or as like crazy things or whatever, if that caused some issues between them and the men. I don't know.
Yeah, like, why aren't you dressed nice? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hello, why didn't you do your hair?
Yeah, they're not objects for the men. They actually represent themselves.
Yeah.
I like that. Represent themselves.
Oh, sorry. So it kind of like funny that even though the dress like was more like natural, it still was like, I feel like maybe men. Well, if you were like the men, like their collars are so high, they have like stuff like it's literally just like this, and their coat and layers and stuff. Women, they have like this, like, but it's like squared, and they're still like sexualized even through a more natural like knot. But so maybe like they're still able to have that like, well, look at you, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just saying what I'm thinking. Maybe I shouldn't, but I just blurred it out. Thinking about it.
Okay, good. What about the second part? The middle class as gaining more power in England. How does the clothing relate to that?
I think maybe because they're seeing the more importance in function rather than looks. Like, just again, the French Revolution, like being worried about what dress I'm wearing, you know what I mean? Instead of like, well, don't I have a garden to tend to, you know what I mean? And so like with all these people realizing how much power they actually have, they're just like seeing the more importance of function rather than fashion.
Mhm.
And like embellished clothing it kind of relates to the aristocrats. And after the French Revolution, anything related to the aristocrats was a bad thing. So that's probably why the middle class wanted to dress more moderately and simpler to get away from the old system and to represent a new revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
All right. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to go over?
Just make sure that you like, with those Jane Austen links that she provided, that she really likes, like make sure you get like quotes from it, like really back us up.
Quotes from the Jane Austen part?
Yeah, because it says referring to at least 5 details from the reading. and then 2 from the pictures, including like from, yeah.
At least 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So my problem is it's such a short writing.
Mm.
So, right, because it's just 1 to 1.5 page. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
1 to
for the
1.
first one that we did, like I ended up taking up 2 pages and she said it was fine. Like it's kind of crazy, like you may feel like it's short, but then yeah, it's kind of has a weird way of
So did you guys do size 12 font or
Yeah,
Mhm.
12
Anything
font,
specific, yeah.
double space.
yeah. Mhm.
All right. Well, I think
I'll
I'll have it.
just message the link for this video.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think I have enough information to touch on a little bit of everything. So
Cool.
Perfect.
perfect. And
Perfect.
I don't think we have to answer each of the questions in it, just as long as we answer the main.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you need
Yes.
help, like if you like need some, like of course, like we're here for you. So group project.
Just message us on Facebook.
Yeah,
Sure,
definitely.
sounds good. I'll get this submitted probably tomorrow before the date.
Cool.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
Good night. Bye.